Now that you have finished taking notes in EasyBib, it's time to convert those notes into an outline. It's very easy to do within the notebook. The first thing is to create a title for your outline, or in this case, I've put in a thesis statement, and I think that's kind of a good idea because that way it drives your entire outline and it'll be right there in front of you. So for example, mine is, curling is an interesting and unique competitive sport because blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that would be my thesis statement. I put it up here in this title box, and I'm ready to begin. Now what I'm going to do is drag over my notes into the outline area here on the right of the screen, and it's going to put it in outline format for me. So let's say the first thing I want to talk about is the rules of the game. I just take this and I drag it over here. It gives me a heading, rules, and it gives me the 5 or whatever notes that I have in that section. Maybe next I want to talk about sweeping, and then delivery, and the Olympics. Now, perhaps I want to move things around a little bit. Like maybe I realize, well, I'm going to need an introduction before the rules paragraph, so I can make a new bullet. And when I make the new bullet, it puts it at the bottom, but I can just drag it on up here to the top. Now I can title this Introduction, and if I want to, I can make new bullets underneath the introduction, and if I scooch it over to the right, it makes it an A, so a subheading, and maybe here's where I'm going to put in my hook, and then perhaps I'm then going to have my thesis, etc. Okay? I can do the same thing with a conclusion. Add a new bullet so I don't forget that I need to have a conclusion at the end. To put my new item there, I'm going to drag it down here and call this a conclusion. Now within the notes, maybe I realize that this stone rule note should not be the first rule that I mentioned. I can just drag it down to wherever I want, and I'm good to go. Maybe who plays needs to actually be first. Oh, you know what? No, maybe I realized who plays is part of the game overview, so I can drag it down and over one, and now it's a subheading under game overview. And I can continue on like this to kind of develop my outline. Now if I want to, I can also put my own personal commentary in between by adding additional bullets so that I know that after I say this note or that note, I want to add my own information, my own comment on it. And that is a great idea for you because basically the more work you do in the outline in getting everything exactly in the order that you want it and with all the information you want it, eventually when you go to write your paper, it will be much easier if this outline is as complete as possible. Now again, to print, I can go up here to print, and maybe this time now I just want to see my outline with my notes data. I don't need the list of notes separately, I just want to see the outline with the notes data. If I click the next button, then I can see my outline is here. Here's my thesis that I used as my title. I have my introduction, hook, thesis, my rules, game overview, who plays, basics, etc. So I've got all my notes in order with my sources, and I'm ready to go for printing this out and then for writing my paper. If you have any questions on how to make EasyBib outlines, please don't hesitate to ask.